Hey everybody, how you doing today? So an update on the Trump shooting. Trump is okay. However, one person is deceased and at least one other is injured, and the shooter is deceased as well. Also, the shooter has been identified. He is an Antifa extremist. He posted prior to the shooting how justice is humming. He posted a video on YouTube. Now, I can't find that video. I'm assuming it's already been taken down. I'm not going to identify him by name. There's other sources out there just in case the person that they named is incorrect. So I'm not going to name him. I think I should point out that there are some pretty sick people out there, and some of these pretty sick people are actually in some positions of authority. One in particular apparently is from the University of British Columbia, and she is a doctor. I'll edit out her name and blur out her picture for the same reasons as I'm not posting the shooter's name. I'm going to also edit out the name of the person who she was communicating with on Twitter. What they said was actually pretty disgusting. If it's true that these two ladies were communicating in this way, I honestly hope she loses her job over this because of what she said. Now, I'll just bring it up on the screen. But here's what she said. Damn. So close. Too bad. A person who responded to that said, damn it, so close. And now he'll milk being a victim for more votes. I really wish the person had better aim. And then the doctor again said, what a glorious day this could have been. Personally, I think that's sick. Like, I'm not into canceling people, but if anybody needs to be canceled, it's people like this. But this is the left for you. These people hate Trump, and they don't care that he was almost murdered today, and they don't care that one person was murdered today and another person was seriously injured. At least one other person was seriously injured. The other victim had been taken to hospital and was in serious condition last time I heard. I have not heard an update since. And I have heard that there may have been others who were injured in that shooting. As you can imagine, there are a lot of people from around the United States sending in their condolences. Ron DeSantis, for example. It is great that President Trump is doing well. It is sad beyond measure that a rally attendee was killed and that others were wounded. The American people deserve answers about how this could have happened, as well as information about the assassin. We know that the assassin was a member of Antifa and his name was released. And we also know now that he took up a sniper's post from an elevated position outside of the designated security area. The question is now is how can an area that had a line of sight within a certain distance of the podium not have been covered by the security perimeter? That's one of the big questions now. The Secret Service, they did an excellent job of covering the president and getting him out, but the advanced team may have some questions to answer. Here's a post that apparently shows that the sniper was taken down by Secret Service, and it allegedly shows him deceased on a rooftop nearby. Donald Trump did release a statement from the hospital. I'm assuming it was from the hospital. I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person who was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong, in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place. So I realized then what was happening. God bless America. So Donald Trump is okay, and that was his statement. There are reports that it was possibly not a bullet that struck him, that it may have been shards of glass or plexiglass from a teleprompter. Now, when I saw the video, it appeared to me like there were teleprompters that were still intact. Not sure how many teleprompters he had, but according to this post, he believes that it was a bullet. The firearm that was used was an AR, an Armalite rifle model 15. That particular rifle can be chambered in various calibers, most common of which being the NATO 5.56 or the 223 round, which is slightly different, but usually quite compatible depending on the firearm. Okay, now let's see what President Biden had to say on this.
Thanks for coming, folks. I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation. Based on what we know now, I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay?
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
So to recap, Donald Trump was shot today. However, it was a graze. He was not seriously injured. Some reports say that it was glass that struck him after the bullet passed through some plexiglass or glass teleprompter monitor. But I don't know how anybody can come to that conclusion without first having talked to his doctors. According to his tweet, it appears that he believes that it was the bullet that struck his ear. We do know that there were people in the crowd who were injured. One person has died. Another was seriously injured, and there were possibly even more. And we also know that the attacker, the would-be assassin, was neutralized by law enforcement. Unfortunately, he won't be able to be questioned. As a result, we may never learn if this was a lone wolf attack or whether it was something far more sinister or nefarious. Law enforcement did their job. They had no choice, but it is disappointing that the culprit can't be interrogated. But I think we have to be honest with ourselves. This comes from years of rhetoric from the left, from hatred towards Donald Trump and towards conservatives in general. We've seen this from Maxine Waters and other politicians calling for outright violence. And yet when Trump says, go to the Capitol and make your voices peacefully be heard, somehow he is inciting violence. But we all know that's not really the case. And then they pull the lawfare on him, charge him with everything they can, even though it doesn't appear that he's guilty of anything. They trump up the charges, as it were. And now this, somebody's tried to kill him. We really have to stop and look at how we're acting in this society of ours, how the left has really taken control and brought us down to where we are today, to this level of violence, in my opinion. If it weren't for the left being so violently against Donald Trump, if it weren't for the left always trying to seize and hold power and using such hatred and vitriol in their conversations, it's quite possible that small-minded people like this terrorist, this Antifa activist, wouldn't have murdered an innocent person, wounded another, and tried to kill the former president. But don't get me wrong, criticizing people, especially people in power who we think are acting inappropriately or making really poor decisions, that's fine. But whenever you call for violence and you encourage people like this, that's not fine. And I just think it has to stop. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you think. Put your comments down below. And while you're at it, please like this video, share with your friends and on social media. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.